And I just realized that the mic was off. So thank you for joining. I'm so sorry about that. Fucking typical. Took me a while to wake up this morning. So not a while. I actually woke up really early. Fucking ridiculous. I'm just exhausted. Um, so yeah, thank you for joining this morning. It's been really fun doing these streams, and thank you for watching the last video. I want to say I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's fun making the clothing. Sorry about that. My mic is cutting in and out. Um, OBS is not playing nice with me today. Good morning. Again, for the third time. If you haven't heard me. Oh god, what a horrible start. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, it got cut off. I had the wrong window opened. Um, yeah, I was just gonna say thank you for watching again. Thank you for watching the last video as well. I'll be wrapping up that series with a final thoughts sort of thing. Oh no, right? Yeah, true. A few final thoughts about the process and talk about that. And I also want to talk about what I want to do for the next 6 months, 12 months. Got some big plans, and I think it'll be worthwhile to keep eye on that because, spoiler alert, we're going to be talking about animation. So, we're going to be doing a lot of animation this year. A lot about starting from the basics, basically. We're going to start from the very start and start to work our way through doing some really cool stuff over the next year. And it's all about animation. Less to do with modeling. I think we've done enough about that with the fundamentals there, and which with whatever version of Blender comes out the next couple of months, those videos are going to be useful for anyone for the ages to come. I don't think there's going to be any new features that will make it redundant anytime soon. The fundamentals are still there, so I think it's time to start talking about animation, and we're going to be doing that in the next couple of weeks. And it's going to be, I think, a very interesting way of doing it too. I don't think anyone's done it the way that I'm going to do it with you on YouTube, at least. How to teach animation, so it's going to be really fun. Anyway, let's jump into this scene. So quite a bit to do here. So it's particularly toward the end. You can see here it's pretty shitty at the end there, and we need to clean that up. Animation is really hard to teach. It's a really hard topic to teach because you need a lot of things to work. So you need well, first you need animation rigs, and you need to have the software, obviously, and you need to have the skill. And although I don't consider myself the best animator in the world, I have enough skill in the field to actually teach some of it. And aren't you a clever boy? Yes. You are a clever person. Whoever said that, Comic Sans, yes, you are very clever. And yeah, I'm gonna be starting with that sort of shit for sure. Yeah, it just makes sense in my opinion. So yeah, gonna be doing that. All right. Let's get this going. So what I need to do, I'm gonna save this keyframe here in pose mode. Don't need the pose editor open. Let's close that. And I'm gonna keyframe everything in that thing there. Let's just hide those. All the controls. Let's give them a keyframe. And let's have a look and see what we got here. We got, actually here, let's keyframe everything here. Let's delete, keyframe everything there. I'm gonna delete everything here. Just so it's, what the fuck? Sorry, I'm in a, possibly. I'll have some more announcements about that in the future too. Why the hell are you moving? There should be a hold there. Copy that. So I just want to get that going. All right, cool. I'm going to get this holding for now. And from here, I'm going to drag that. That looks horrible. Let's delete that. Let's delete this one. That's better. At the moment, I don't use any reference, but I will be, well, here's the thing about reference. You need good reference to start off with, right? It's one thing to record yourself acting out a scene. It's another thing to record yourself acting out a scene well, okay? Hold on, let me just get my door. So, to continuing on with that, if I'm a bad actor and I act out a scene for reference, then all I'm going to do is transfer that bad acting into bad animation. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You need to be good at expressing yourself, and I'm not good at expressing myself. I'm pretty shit at that. So the only way I'm going to get good reference at this stage is if I actually hire an actor to act out my scenes, and do it well. One of the big things that shit me on Twitter, and you know they are good at what they do. They are good animators. They definitely know how to express themselves. Is that you see a lot of animators acting out their shots and they make it look so easy, and it's so not easy. It is not easy to do that well. And they make it look flawless. And they show the first part where they've done their reference, and then they show the final polished part, which has taken weeks or months to animate. And there's no in between, and it's so misleading, in my opinion. It's super misleading, and you need to make sure that you're aware of that. It's not that simple. I hope I'm not sounding cynical here, but it's just the reality of things, in my opinion. All right. So I got that scene nice and blocked out. This is basically what we need to do. I need to do a double take. I'm not great at double takes. So let's go ahead and get her to look a little bit to the left. So in her case, it's her right. So she's going to look a little bit to the left. And I want her to notice the dog in the distance. So in the previous shot, if you remember, there's a dog at the far end of the alleyway. You see his eyes, and Evie doesn't notice yet. She doesn't notice yet. She looks down at the girl. The girl's looking up at Evie. She looks to the left, looks back at Evie, and then she reacts. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I don't know if I'm going to get that far this morning. It's been my trouble spot for the last couple of weeks, obviously. I've been doing this scene since fucking late last year, simply because I haven't had the time to do much of it on it. Yep, this is Blender. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to go ahead and just pose out the shot. So I might actually change her back into constant animation. In Maya, that's called stepped animation. So it's just going to be blocked out. 1, 2, 3. And it's still fucking sliding on some of those controls because they're hidden. Let's bring those back. There they are. Sorry if I sound in a bad mood. I'm in an average mood today. Put it that way. Not for any particular reason. It's just yeah. I'm sorry if I sound like an asshole today. Yeah, thank you very much. That's the idea, really, of my channel, is to sort of break those misconceptions and that bullshit that comes with the animation industry. It's all marketing, really. It's just so it's so frustrating to see sometimes. But anyway, here we go. We got a nice little shot. That's what I want. Now I want her to look to the right. So her right, screen left. I want her to look that way. Just a little bit. A bit that way. I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will get better. It's an interesting time in this world, at least in this country at the moment. So yeah, I won't go into it. But yeah, let's get this up and running. And well, here's the thing about again, this is one of those things about animation that you don't hear very often, and the answer to that is it doesn't fucking matter what software you use. All right. I don't know where you like. This is the one. Like, I'm a teacher, and I hear this. I don't hear this from many teachers at school, my school, at least the one I work at. But here's the thing about that. Software really is. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't fucking matter. If you can get a good showreel out with Blender and get a job using Maya, then that's the goal. All right. That's the if you have to fucking learn Maya overnight to get that to when you start that job, that's a different thing. Just go ahead and do that. But you need to actually have a fucking showreel to start off with. Thank you very much for the super chat, Kelly. You need to have something to work with, something to give, something to present. And if you can't afford to get the goddamn software to do that showreel, then what's the freaking point of doing animation, right? Blender gives people opportunity. That's why I like it so much. It's an opportunity maker. It pulls people out of a rut. It can make people successful. It can turn people's lives around. And you can't say that for many other pieces of software, at least without a cost. That's the big thing. Yeah, I'm in a fighting mood this morning, man. I've been thinking a lot lately about things, man. And yeah, I've been frustrated, put it that way. Frustrated with things. And I want to change that. And I've got some ideas to make that happen. Yeah. Yeah, no, you need a job, right? You just need a job. And here's what I'm going to say about that. Don't look for the job, make the work come to you, honestly. And that is where Blender comes in. If you can start freelancing, doing the stuff you do, if you can find a market for the kind of stuff you do, then you don't have to look for a job. The work comes to you. You make the work happen. You make the pet money come in. And whether that's through freelancing or YouTube or, God forbid, at least for now, NFTs, it is the way it's going to be. And if you can make that successful, then fuck it, man. Just go for it. Oh, Expanse finale. Good question. That was a good ending, I thought. I thought it was a good ending. Lots of open-ended questions still, though. I think for a show that had to wrap up a show, and they did it in a respectful way. Exactly right, Rabbit. Sorry, going back to the Expanse. I have a lot of issues with NFTs at the moment. I'll talk about that in a second. Let me finish the Expanse though. The Expanse ending, I think, was the best ending you could probably expect to get. So what I mean by that is that they know that the story is going to end 3 books from now, in the series, and the writers are very respectful, I think, of the content that they're producing. Yeah, man. No spoilers. Don't bring up any other names, but yeah, no spoilers. I think it was really cool. I think it was really well made. And it was done in a sort of a typical Expanse sort of fashion. And I don't think he could have expected more, honestly. For a show that is intentionally stopping 2 seasons before it's meant to end, that you got to have balls for that. And secondly, I think it sets it up really well for anything that comes in the forward in the ending in the future. So whether it's a new series, a sequel, like a continuation of the series, a movie, um, it would be so sick to see the last two films as a sort of trilogy or something like that as a film experience. But and I wouldn't be surprised if that's where they would go, because clearly, when you have a movie budget, you can really push those crazy ideas. And as they get into that really weird proto molecule stage, that I haven't read the books, but I know kind of what will sort of happen. It gets more and more crazy, right? You kind of need to have the budget to do that, and I feel like they'll probably pull that off through some sort of film expansion or something like that. They'll probably do a feature film, or Amazon will dump a bunch of cash into making a film, like a feature length series or something like that. That's how I think it will happen. But yeah, I think it was really good. I think it was handled really well. A lot of tension, very Mass Effect vibes. Love the Easter eggs at that. The real subtle Easter egg with the assault teams as well. I don't know if you saw the little Easter eggs there, but there's a bunch of little famous names in there that are really cool to see. But yeah, that was really cool. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the end of Expanse. I thought it was mad. Yeah, balanced would be the best way of putting it. I think balance would be the best way of putting it. It's a very balanced ending, and I don't think he could have expected more. Now onto the NFT things. I was actually thinking about this morning, because I've been conflicted about it myself, and I think, and I'll have some thought. I think I'll make a video about this, because I have this like sort of idea for doing. Like, it's a bit late to do it now, considering it's already fucking February in a week or so. But I do have a sort of prediction about where things will go with NFTs, and I'm very worried. I'm very worried about the metaverse myself. Personally, I consider it to be possibly the end of a free and open internet. I don't see it to be a good thing. I think it's fucking dangerous, and NFTs are tied in with that massively. And you can see how these game companies like fucking Ubisoft and Square Enix, and they're jumping on this bandwagon, and they're basically turning the whole internet into a DRM, and it's horrible. I think that's the thing. That's the real gist of it. People are talking about how it empowers artists, and I understand that, but for every artist that is empowered, there's a company that's going to be closing down a huge chunk of the internet for those who don't know how to create art, don't know how to make things. Yeah, it's because it's like they see the patterns, they see what's going on, and I think there's a lot of things that are like sinister that's going on here, and no one's talking about that. Um, it shits me. Like when I say shits me, it shits my, like I shit my pants thinking about it. Figuratively, not literal to the literally, but but that's where I stand at the moment. The only place where I think that NFTs makes sense, in my opinion, I'm sure uh it's a weird one to say, but the adult industry NFTs makes perfect sense, because purely about consumption. It's not about art. It's not about anything besides self gratification. And if that's what you want out of your art, then by all means, that's where it lies. That's where it's most applicable, in my opinion. That's where it matters. That's where I think you can actually get it makes sense. Other than that, if it's like images, artwork, motion, I think it's bullcrap at the moment. Like, and it comes down to a few things in my mind. Like when you buy a painting, you buy the source file. Oh, thank you. Cheers. Like when you think about when you buy a painting from a famous artist or even just a person down the street, you are buying something special. You are buying something that is real. When I say real, I mean you buy the source file. If you were to think about a painting as a source file, you are buying the source file. You are buying the paint that created the artwork. You are buying the idea put on paper. Um, and you can modify that. You can destroy it. You can paint over it. You can restore it. You can do whatever you need to do to make it better or worse, or you can just leave it as it is, put it on your wall, and enjoy it for what it is. When you get an NFT, for the most part, you do not get that source file. You do not get that ability to really experience the originality of something. You get a copy, really. You get you get the JPEG, the GLTF, the video file. You do not get the source file. You do not get the Premiere files, the Adobe After Effects files. You don't get the Blender files. You don't get any of that. If you wanted to have the true original, you would have the source file as part of that NFT. The source files that made that art possible. You would have that. You would own it. But that is still not the case with NFTs. You do not own that source file. That artist can still recreate what they just put out on an NFT market, what they just minted. And with that in mind, you don't own it. It's DRM. I'm talking about the digital version of the painting, the digital art. Say I put this up as a film, as a it's like the Mona Lisa being like a digital version of the Mona Lisa, right? Imagine you made one of those. You made a real version, like something that's really extraordinary. You don't own. If you made that, if the NFT was stored, do I ever do any physical work? Not often. I would like to, but it's actually really expensive as a hobby to be an artist in the real world. More expensive than a digital artist, in my opinion. Like good paint is really expensive. Good paint is really expensive. Yeah. So like the ironic thing is that when people complain about software being expensive, being a real artist is actually probably more expensive on a day-to-day basis, in a weird way. But yes, I don't do much. Oh no, sorry. All good. And then she's gonna look back. Sorry, I'm also getting distracted with my artwork as well. Yeah, yeah. If you destroy a painting, it's gone. It's gone forever. It's destroyed. It's gone to left to history, left to the history books. If you took a photo of it, then that's what it is. Now, like for instance, you have ancient Roman frescoes that were discovered, 100 years ago that have been destroyed, but the only thing we have left is a photo. And that's a sad thing. It makes it feel real. It's finite. And it has the potential to stay finite. But you can't do that with NFT. It's literally, in my opinion, worthless. There's no worth to something that's infinite. And even then, it's not infinite, really. I know it's ironic. I'm contradicting myself here. Yeah. I don't know about popularity. It's more about purpose, in my opinion. Purpose of art. What is the purpose? And the problem I have again with NFTs at the moment is that there's this cultural thing that it's more like a Shopkins toy or a LOL surprise toy than it is about making art. It's more about consumption. Like you collect a LOL surprise toy and you unpack the box, and inside the box is a different version of a LOL surprise toy that someone else doesn't have. So there it has rarity, and then it has value apparently, because it's a one of a kind or a rare. Yeah, trading cards. It's just trading cards. Exactly. It's another version of trading cards, and the idea behind NFTs is being lost behind the money grabbing side of things. The greed is creeping in. And yeah, again, the only part where greed can actually make sense, in my opinion, is in the adult industry. Because again, it's all about self-gratification. If you want to be self-gratifying yourself, then buy the adult industry NFTs. That's my opinion. Yeah, I would have no guilt about that, apart from the environmental effects. I don't know how it will work. I think it's there's a bubble going on. I'm not sure how it's going to change. Something like that. Yeah, I won't word it in that way because I am talking live. But yeah, you got the idea. Let's see. Turning there, needed to look that way. So she's gonna hold a bit longer there. This shot's getting longer and longer. Let's go with 190. Hold. Yeah, but you know, people still pay for it. And you can tell that the lucrative ink, when it gets minted, it's like a certificate of authenticity, basically. If you're gonna put it anywhere out and put it in any kind of other way, that's the simplest way I can put it. Even I don't really fully understand it. That's how I see it. Okay, cool. There we go. So arms fucked there. Here we go. Let's delete that. Yeah, it's certification basically. It's a certification of like authenticity. That it's an officially made, like minted by the artist or the creator, or in this case in most cases nowadays the company. So again, you're basically buying for, it's like buying like a receipt. It's like a digital receipt of sorts. All right, cool. Let's let's bring back her pole vector. Where the hell is it? Oh, it's over here. What's it doing over there? All right, let's bring that over here. That's what's causing that problem. There we go. That one's okay. Now to see how A becomes B. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Oh wait, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I see what you mean. Sorry, I missed out on a few streams last week as well. By the way, it's been very hot in Australia as well, so getting sleep has been difficult. Put it that way. All right, cool. We got that. All right, sweet. That's all I need for the blocking right now. Let's bring it back to a spline. I'm not too concerned about spline, like reversing the splines. Ah, that's good. That's awesome. That's good to hear. I'm glad it wasn't the motherboard. That was shit. Because that's an expensive one. That's an expensive fix. All right, cool. There we go. Back to spline. All right, sweet. There we go. All right, cool. So when she turns, we can speed that up a lot. I've been playing. What have I been playing? A lot of Age of Empires 4, which I love. I think it's a great game. I've been playing it with my partner, and she loves it too. It's been really fun playing with her because we just play against the AI, and it's just like a nice, easy breezy hour game or so. And it's always fun to play. We're not very good competitively, so we tend to just play that. She's been playing Elder Scrolls Online as well a lot lately, so that's also been fun to see. I played a little bit of that. I haven't gotten into it yet, 100%, but I'll probably play a bit more of that. And of course, I've been playing Hitman 3, Hitman 3, and that's been awesome too. As for new games, it's been hard to find something that really tickles my fancy, honestly. I have a dark void of uh, a need for Mass Effect. I need more Mass Effect type games, and they just don't exist. Or a really good city builder game. I really want to play a really good city builder game. And if I had the choice of like what I would do after doing this animation, I would build a really good ancient Rome ripoff of Caesar 3. I would love to do that. Oh yeah, nice. Good call. I can't like yeah. I haven't played the original. All right, cool. So there's the tilt. All right, cool. So I'm gonna grab this and let's just get this there. And then when she turns her head, she's tilting the wrong way. She needs to tilt down like so. Like that. Tilting a bit lower too much now. RimWorld. I thought about that. I'm not big on Civ. I think it's more like I want to have a really good city builder experience, like a casual, uh, easy to play, hard to master sort of game. I looked at Settlers, like the new Settlers trailer, and the only thing I don't like about it is that um, it's not based in real history, and I really do like games based on history, like Rome Total War, Caesar, Age of Empires. I love those sort of games, and I've been hankering for a really good one, and they come few and far between. I'd love to have a really good city builder. There we go. That's a nice. And that can be a bit more subtle as well. That head turn can be more subtle. Don't want it to be too much. And then that can be copied to over here. Oh yeah, Rise of Nations would have been cool. A cool comeback. Yeah, I used to love like Rise of Nations. The only thing I had a problem with not Rise of Nations is that the games would generally play out exactly the same, for the most part. Once you hit Gunpowder Age, you kind of win the game. Whoever hits Gunpowder first will basically win, and it's always really a really tough one to come back from. But I loved it. I did like the mechanics, the way it worked. Really interesting way. All right, cool. And this will be a lot faster. Coming back will be faster. So I'm going to copy this keyframe, delete that. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, it sounds awesome. I got Nebuchadnezzar on Steam the other day, but I haven't had a chance to check it out properly. But it's tickling. It looks like it will scratch an itch. That's for sure. All right, cool. I'm gonna keep this hand still. The end game for I'm guessing Rise of Nation. Yeah, I had the same problem with Empire Earth. If you basically have infinite resources, the game will basically go for infinite time if you don't know how to combat it. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna try and play it this week. All right, cool. All right, cool. One, turn, look, react. Look. Yeah, Empire Earth had so much potential. If there's one game that would probably get a reboot in the future, because Empire Earth was really successful when it came out. It was a huge game. And then it just got progressively weird and worse. No, I don't play Minecraft. I don't really have the time for those sort of games. I barely have time to do these streams, honestly. Which has also been a bit of a sticky point for me lately. This is why my my mood has been pretty average. I haven't been able to do these things. There's things that I enjoy. You know what I mean? It's been really frustrating. So where arm sits there, I'm gonna actually turn that down and put that down like that. Yeah, double takes are so hard to do. They're so hard to do properly. Let's get her arm in. And copy that pose. Put it over here. And you see how this is the problem with IK, by the way. See how the arm is sort of squishing as she puts her arm down? You need to, when you do IK arms, you need to manually get those arcs in. So when her arm comes out like that, her arm should be, you should be always pushing out the arm a little bit to get the arc back. The film is like, this one is about, well, it's the start of a larger story, put it that way. It's the start of a larger story involving Earth, another planet, and a mystery regarding why Earth was cut off from a colony of people who are basically living on their own, assuming that the rest of humanity is dead. That's the gist of the story, and there's a mystery and a adventure behind that I want to really explore. Oh, thank you very much, Night Cow. I really appreciate that. But yeah, I got a lot of big plans for the year, and I really want to. And the other thing that's been annoying me a little bit lately is just professional development, my own professional development. Like I had this goal of getting this film done in 2019. I wanted to start it, I think. I did that announcement video, and I wanted to get it done in a year. And yeah, it's 2022 now. It's 3 years, and it's starting to rain heavy on me. It's starting to feel a little bit heavy on me, and I don't like it. And I want to get it done. Yeah. In terms of festival, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one with this one. It depends on how I want, like what kind of audience I want to get. Personally, part of me says I'd rather just show it to you guys and just see what you guys think without the pomposity. Another part of me says let's put it through a festival circuit, see what the reaction is, and then release it online, because if you release it online, a lot of festivals don't like to show it because they have this elitist mindset that you got to show it first at a film festival for it to be worthy. So yeah, there's that. All right, cool. There's that arm's looking pretty good. It's a bit slow, so I'm gonna actually speed up that arm. Those keyframes here, and really just exaggerate that movement. There we go. That looks a lot better. The only problem now is that her elbows are a bit shit. Still a bit robotic looking, so her arm's going to be out a bit further there. And then the problem is that the curves are trying to play up there. So if I create a motion path, let's see, we're at 100 frames, 100. Let's go with 100 to 140. Yeah, if you can get your, like I'd say for anyone that is starting off as an animator and they have a film, that you should definitely put it into a film festival. No question. Film festivals are really useful for certain things. And I would definitely recommend, if you want to get your get like some sort of notice, a film festival will definitely help in that regard. Yeah, yeah, for sure. That arm's looking a lot better now. See how I got the arc in there? That's what really matters. Let's get this down like so. Let's update that motion path. Don't worry about the arm popping. I don't really care right now. What matters is the arc. All right, cool. Copy that pose there. Push it over here. There we go. Got a little bit of wobble there. So you got to do it in 3 dimensions. You got to do the arc in 3 dimensions as well. So it doesn't look too horrible. There's that. Okay, let's just delete that. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. I'm glad they're useful, put it that way. I'm really glad they're useful for you. Hopefully my animation tutorials will be just as, I guess, mind-blowing would be the best way of putting it. There we go. I think that looks better. There we go. Oh, thank you very much. All right, cool. So there we go. Her arm is looking better. The reason why it's popping is because her arm is obviously lower than it can be for the stretch. So what I'm going to do is have her bop her body down a little bit. That will be the solution. So as she shifts her weight, she's going to bop her body down. And there you go. That's looking way better. A little bit of a bop. And now it's looking a lot nicer. Oh, thank you very much. I'm hoping to get this one done. I really am. I really want it done. Hopefully in a few weeks. It's so close. By the way, you guys have got to check out this website called Plask. It is amazing. And I'm going to be using this, I reckon, for my film, for my short film for the next couple scenes. It is a currently free. It's a currently free motion capture service that uses AI to track video. So if you have video of an action that you want to replicate and you want to transfer it to like a Mixamo rig, for instance, you can do that with this app and or this website. It's really amazing. I tried it the other day and it is so cool. Definitely recommend you guys check it out and give it a go. All right, cool. So I'm gonna keyframe that the whole thing. 1, 2, 3. That little dart will be a lot faster. Let's get that faster. No, that's actually the wrong way. Let's see. Let's get that arm up a little bit. Ever so slightly. I'm going to move that arm. Delete that keyframe here. Delete this keyframe. The toon shading Danny will be up and running by this week. I'll have that video done this week. I'm going to do some texturing. And then I'm going to just transfer that texture to the toon shader. And yeah, then it'll be done. And then you'll have your toon shaded Danny. Shoulder, that's what's causing that as well. So the shoulder is animating as well. So I want that to stay put. So I'm going to copy this keyframe. I've only got a few minutes to go before I have to go back to the day. But let's see what we can do. Delete that. Delete that. Let's rotate that ever so slightly. When she dips her body, I kind of want her to just dip her. When she dips her head, I want to dip her body just ever so slightly. Ah, thank you. When did you learn most of your animation skills? Any school, online, or otherwise? Oh, no worries. Cheers. Thanks for joining the stream. Really appreciate it. So I went to uni. I got my basic skills out of uni, doing animation, 3D art, illustration, design. A lot of the design actually came out of that, and I think it was probably one of the more useful things is learning how to design. Was more useful than actually learning how to animate, to be honest, as weird as it sounds. And then I graduated. I started working at a startup company doing like 2D animation. And I didn't actually do that much animation in that job. It just is what it was labeled as. And then I started freelancing. And at the same time, I got a scholarship at another school, but for 1 year doing advanced animation. And that's where I learned how to animate for the most part, properly at least. And since then, I've been freelancing and doing jobs and stuff like that. I studied animation from I studied animation. Oh, sorry, study anatomy. Yes, sort of. Life drawing would be the best way of putting it. I did a lot of life drawing at uni. And I'd suggest that life drawing, if you can manage, and if you're not in a COVID hotspot world, part of the world, then I would definitely recommend you guys check out life drawing if you want to practice your anatomy. I think it's far more useful than anything, in my opinion. Far more useful than any tutorial series, any freaking video series on anatomy, anything. It increases your skill set by a factor of 100 within weeks, and it's so useful. No, CG Spectrum was the animation diploma. Yeah, figure drawing. It's just you'd be surprised how fast your skill set improves. Like I would recommend it to any artist, not just 3D illustrators, but to 3D artists, riggers, you name it, everything. I would recommend it to anyone that wants to get good at physical, human motion, behavior, animation even is you can't go wrong. It really does teach you everything you really need to know about human physicality. I wish I could do it more often, honestly. All right. And the only reason I can do this sort of stuff, like make this shit up in my head, is because I studied motion, and I did a bit of life drawing, and oddly enough, because I exercise, because I try and work out. I don't think without doing that, I think I'd be a worse animator for sure. All right. I'm not going to get much further in 2 minutes than I would. Oh, 1 minute now. So yeah, for sure, everything. Definitely. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I want to say thank you for those watching. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for engaging. It's been really fun. I've been very upfront and candid today, more than I usually am. But you'll probably hear a lot more of that from me in my videos as well, and especially when it comes to animation. I got a lot of thoughts about that, so trying to keep it real, kind of try and keep it grounded, and really talk about why things are the way they are. Thank you very much. I'm going to leave it there, and I will wrap it up here and say thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of the week. I will hopefully be back on Wednesday morning to do a stream. And also keep an eye out on my YouTube channel for the next tutorial. That will be up pretty soon as well. All right. Thank you. I'll see you guys soon.